Who really discovered America? A question that has echoed in our minds and history textbooks for years, often met with the same conventional answer: Christopher Columbus. This standardized response has been sculpted into our minds through years of education, shaping our understanding of the world's past. We accept this without batting an eye, but have we really delved deep into the layers of our historical accounts? The story of Christopher Columbus discovering America is a narrative as old as time. It's a story that has been told and retold, passed down from generation to generation like a timeless tale. It's a narrative that has become deeply embedded into the roots of our educational curriculum, shaping our understanding of history. But what if there's more to the story? What if we've only been exposed to the surface of a much deeper, far-reaching history? The idea that we may not know the whole story can be unsettling. The thought that the pages of our well-established history books might have overlooked a significant chapter, one that challenges what we've been taught to believe, is disconcerting. This is the part of history that has been left untouched, unspoken, and unexplored. In a world where the accepted truths of history are rigid and unchanging, questioning them can be seen as an act of rebellion. Yet it's in this space of questioning that we allow room for growth and exploration. It's where we begin to push boundaries, challenge accepted norms, and seek out truth, no matter how uncomfortable it might be. They Came Before Columbus by Ivan van Sertima is a book that dares to challenge the conventional wisdom. It dares to defy the established narrative and ask what if the discovery of America was not by Christopher Columbus? What if there were others who had set foot on this land before him? These are not merely hypothetical questions to be dismissed lightly, but a deep dive into history that demands our attention and critical thinking. Van Sertima's work embarks on an intriguing journey, delving into historical archives, unearthing archaeological evidence, and decoding ancient scripts. It's a quest for truth that goes beyond the accepted narrative, probing into the corners of history that have been left unexplored. It's an expedition that involves meticulous research, careful examination, and a willingness to question long-held beliefs. This book doesn't just challenge the narrative, it upends it. It pulls back the curtain on a forgotten chapter of history, exposing a story that has been left untold. It sheds light on the civilizations that came before Columbus, the explorers who dared to venture into the unknown, and the cultures that thrived long before the Europeans set foot on American soil. The journey through They Came Before Columbus is one of revelation and realization. It's a journey that challenges our understanding of history, urging us to rethink what we've been taught. It's a journey that asks us to confront the possibility that our history books might not be as comprehensive as we thought. They Came Before Columbus by Ivan van Sertima dares to ask this very question and embarks on an intriguing journey to uncover the truth. It serves as a reminder that history is not always as it appears, and sometimes the most important stories are the ones that are left untold. Our understanding of the past is shaped by the stories we are told. But what happens when those stories are incomplete? What happens when we begin to question the accepted narrative? The story unfolds as Van Sertima weaves a narrative not of Columbus, but of African explorers crossing the Atlantic Ocean, reaching the Americas long before the genuine sailor. It is not just a tale of mere exploration or of chance voyages, but one that challenges the mainstream narrative of discovery and colonization. This is about the African explorers, their knowledge, and the imprint they left thousands of miles away from their homeland. This narrative puts the spotlight on a different set of explorers, the Africans, their journeys, and the knowledge they possessed. Their advanced navigation skills, unparalleled in those times, are hinted at as the key to their ability to undertake these transatlantic voyages. It's not just about possessing the knowledge, but the daring and courage to apply it, to venture into the unknown, to cross the mighty Atlantic, and to land on the shores of a new continent. The story goes on to delve deeper, painting a vivid image of these African explorers, their ships cutting through the waves, stirring the Atlantic as they moved purposefully towards the New World. The narrative highlights the shipbuilding skills of these Africans, their understanding of the sea, of winds and currents, and their ability to harness these forces to their advantage. Each ship, crafted meticulously, was a testament to their scientific prowess and artistic sensibility. But the magic narrative lies not just in the journey, but in the destination. The arrival of these African explorers in the Americas is marked not just by geographical discovery, but by cultural exchange. And here, the plot thickens, weaving together the threads of shared cultural parallels. the echoes of Africa found among Native Americans. Each shared aspect of culture, every similarity in art, music, and tradition, hints at a shared past, a deep-rooted connection, and an interaction that unfolded centuries ago. The presence of African linguistic patterns, spiritual practices, and artistic expressions among Native Americans tells the story of this connection, of this shared history that mainstream history may have chosen to overlook. It's a narrative that asks questions, that demands answers. How did these cultural parallels come to exist? How did the African explorers influence the Native American cultures? The story suggests a chapter of history that has been forgotten, overlooked, or perhaps even intentionally ignored. A chapter that speaks of cultural exchange, shared, and of a connection that transcended geographical boundaries. The narrative of Van Sertima is not just a tale of discovery, but it's a journey into the past, a journey that uncovers a different history, a different perspective. It's a narrative that celebrates the African explorers, their voyages across the Atlantic, their courage, and their impact on the New World. As we delve deeper into this narrative, we find ourselves standing at the crossroads of history and anthropology, of exploration and discovery. It's a narrative that challenges our understanding of history, that presents evidence of a pre-Columbian contact between Africans and Native Americans, evidence that may have been overlooked. The story of these African explorers is not just a tale of transatlantic voyages, but a tale of the transference of knowledge, culture, and ideas. It's a tale that unravels the threads of connection, that echoes the voices of those who might have been forgotten by conventional narratives and yet have left an indelible mark on history. The evidence? Advanced navigation and shipbuilding skills among Africans, hinting at their ability to undertake transatlantic voyages. The plot thickens with cultural parallels between Native Americans and Africans, suggesting a shared past, interactions and connections that history may have overlooked. But the story doesn't end there. The narrative presented by Van Sertima goes far beyond the surface, delving into a fascinating journey of exploration. He investigates the exchanges that took place between two vastly different continents, Africa and the Americas. These exchanges were not just limited to ideas or people, but included a captivating range of plants, animals, and textiles that shaped the history of both continents. The author, Ivan Van Sertima, proposes a hypothesis that is as intriguing as it is audacious. He suggests that the said exchanges between Africa and the Americas may have occurred even before the famed journey of Christopher Columbus. His bold claim adds another layer to the ever-evolving narrative, challenging the commonly accepted belief that Columbus was the pioneer of transatlantic exploration. Van Sertima's narrative paints a vivid picture of a bustling ancient world, filled with extensive trade networks and cultural exchanges that span across oceans and continents. The concept of a pre-Columbian contact between Africa and the Americas is exciting, opening up a whole new perspective to look at history. This theory adds a complex layer to the historical narrative, challenging long-standing beliefs about the extent of early global connections. The detailed investigation undertaken by Van Sertima covers a wide spectrum of exchanges. He talks about the transfer of agricultural technology, with new crops being introduced to different regions, changing local diets and agricultural practices drastically. Furthermore, he delves into the exchange of animal species, shedding light on how ecological exchange could have affected local ecosystems. Moving beyond the biological, Van Sertima also explores the exchange of textiles. He provides intricate details about how different methods of weaving, dyeing, and fabric making could have been shared between these continents, influencing the development and evolution of textile industries. However, making such radical claims requires strong backing. This is where Van Sertima's rigorous research work comes into the picture. Each of his claims is backed by research, gathered from a variety of sources and data. His narrative doesn't rely on a single type of source but is a compilation of diverse evidences. He delves into the rich accounts of explorers' diaries, filled with details of their journeys and the people they encountered, their cultures, and the goods they traded. Van Sertima goes beyond the written word, delving into the world of oral traditions. He takes into account the diverse oral accounts, legends, and stories passed down generations, highlighting the importance of oral history in shaping our understanding of the past. Moreover, he also incorporates findings from scientific journals, archaeological evidence, and historical texts. Each piece of information is meticulously parsed, researched, and carefully pieced together, providing a comprehensive and coherent narrative that enriches our understanding of history. The story that Van Sertima weaves is not just a chronicle of events and exchanges, but a tale of human curiosity, courage, and the desire for exploration. It is a narrative that, while challenging long-held beliefs, also celebrates the shared history of humanity across continents and cultures. The sources of his tale are as varied as they are rich. Explorers' diaries, journals, oral accounts, each piece of evidence meticulously researched and carefully presented. As the narrative unfolds, history comes alive in the form of Mali's grand ships launching into the vast ocean. Each meticulously crafted ship represents centuries of knowledge, resilience, and passion, representing an emblem of Mali's craftsmanship. The sheer size of these magnificent vessels, their awe-inspiring scale, the intricacy in their designs, all speaks volumes about the advanced architectural prowess of Mali's artisans. The ships, silently floating on the undulating waves, seem to whisper tales of countless voyages, tales of courage, discovery, and the indomitable spirit of the human race. It is not just about these grand ships, but also the illustrious Mandingo kings leading daring sea expeditions. The kings, adorned in their royal regalia, emanate an air of invincible authority and determination. Each one, not just a ruler but an adventurous seafarer, would inspire awe and reverence in the hearts of their followers. With every sea expedition they embarked on a quest to to discover new lands, to establish new trade routes, and to spread their influence far and wide. Their courage and vision were not merely for their kingdom's glory, but also for the advancement of human understanding and exploration. As the kings lead these daring sea expeditions, we see the bravery and tenacity of the African people. The sailors, equipped with their navigational skills and their knowledge of the seas, defy the rage of their hearts filled with the thrill of exploration and discovery. They face the wrath of the ocean, the ferocity of the beasts that lurk beneath its surface, and the uncertainty of what lies beyond the horizon. Yet they never falter, their spirits unbroken, driven by their dedication to their king, their land, and their quest for discovery. Each scene in this narrative is a testament to Africa's accomplishments and contributions to pre-Columbian America. It reveals a world where Africa was not just a silent spectator, but an active participant in shaping the course of history. The scenes depict a time when Africa was a thriving hub of commerce, exploration, and intellectual pursuit. It highlights Africa's role in creating a vibrant transatlantic network of trade and cultural exchange long before the advent of European colonial rule. In these scenes we see an Africa that challenges the conventional narrative, an Africa proud, fierce, and unyielding, an Africa that embraces the challenges of the unknown, that dares to dream, and that dares to conquer. An Africa that leaves an indelible mark on the tapestry of human history. It is a narrative that serves as a powerful reminder of Africa's rich cultural heritage, the resilience of its people, and their incredible contributions to the world. Each scene paints a vivid picture of Africa's achievements and contributions to pre-Columbian America, a picture vastly different from the conventional narrative. They Came Before Columbus is more than just a book. It's a journey into the lesser-known corridors of history, a gripping voyage into the forgotten realms of the past. It's an exploration that takes us far beyond the confines of mainstream academia, into the hidden archives and dusty libraries where truth dwells in obscurity. This book is not just an ordinary volume that you pick up and put down, it's a fascinating odyssey that beckons you to delve deeper, to question, and to seek the truth that lies beneath the surface. Its pages are brimming with rich narratives, a weaving tapestry of historical accounts that are often brushed under the carpet of popular discourse. With each turn of the page, we are invited to step into another time, another place, a world that has long been shrouded in mystery. This book does more than just tell a story, it conjures up worlds, plays with perceptions, and provokes thought. The author stands on the shoulders of scholars and sages, painstakingly piecing together a narrative that defies the common narrative. It's a bold testament to extensive research and scholarship, a labor of love that reflects years of dogged determination and relentless pursuit of truth. Each word, each sentence is meticulously crafted, bearing the weight of careful scrutiny and rigorous analysis. It's a testament to extensive scholarship, an understatement indeed. The author's dedication to scrutinizing historical texts, meticulously examining archaeological evidence, and thoroughly cross-referencing academic sources is an achievement in itself. They have delved deep into the annals of history, unearthing facts that have long been buried beneath layers of neglect and misunderstanding. The chapters unfold like a carefully curated exhibition, each one a showcase storytelling. The author weaves together fact and fiction, intertwining them so seamlessly that it's often hard to distinguish one from the other. The prose is lyrical yet profound, evoking a sense of wonder and intrigue that keeps the reader hooked from start to finish. Every passage is a lesson, every line a revelation. The book is a treasure trove of historical nuggets, each one polished and presented with such finesse that they glitter with newfound relevance. It's a journey that not merely informs but educates and enlightens, offering fresh perspectives and challenging long-held beliefs. The book does more than rehash old tales. It shines a light on an often overlooked aspect of world history. It brings to the fore the stories of the unsung heroes, the trails blazed by the pioneers who dared to venture into uncharted territories. These are narratives that have the power to change the way we look at the world, to shift paradigms and break the boundaries of our understanding. It's a testament to extensive scholarship, a showcase of skillful storytelling that brings to light an often overlooked aspect of world history. Through compelling narratives, it challenges the status quo, nudging us to reconsider our preconceived notions and inviting us to embark on a quest for truth. It's a journey that is as riveting as it is enlightening, a literary masterpiece that is as much a tribute to the past as it is a beacon for the future. It's more than just a book, it's a wake-up call, a revelation, a journey into the heart of history. So, who really discovered America? This is a question that has been asked for centuries. The answer might not be as straightforward as once thought. It's a premise that has been ingrained in our educational curriculums and popular culture. Columbus discovered is a phrase we've heard countless times. It's a familiar narrative that has been told and retold in our classrooms, in our books, and in our society. However, recent historical evidence suggests a different story, a story that challenges the traditional narrative and invites us to rethink our understanding of history. As the evidence suggests, Africans might have set foot on American soil long before Columbus. This is a revolutionary idea that completely overturns the traditional understanding of the discovery of the Americas. Africans, a people who have been subjected to centuries of marginalization and oppression, might have been the pioneers of the New World. This is an idea that defies traditional historical narratives and challenges us to question our preconceived notions about history. This idea is not just a flight of fancy or a baseless conjecture. There is a wealth of historical evidence that lends credibility to this claim. There are artifacts, archaeological findings, and linguistic studies that point towards an African presence in the Americas long before Columbus. These are not just isolated incidents or random artifacts. These are pieces of a larger puzzle that, when put together, paint a picture of an African presence in the Americas. Who were these Africans? What motivated them to embark on a journey across the Atlantic? What impact did they have on the indigenous cultures of the Americas? These are questions that historians and archaeologists are still grappling with. The answers to these questions have the potential to rewrite history and change our understanding of the discovery of the Americas. This is the They Came Before Columbus, a book that invites us to question, explore, and rethink our understanding of history. This book is more than just a historical treatise, it's a call to action. It invites us to challenge the status quo, to question accepted narratives, to explore untold stories, and to rethink our understanding of history. What does this mean for us today? It means that history is not as cut and dried as we once thought. It means that there are stories, narratives, and histories that are waiting to be discovered, explored, and understood. It means that our understanding of history is not static, but dynamic and ever-changing. So, who really discovered America? The answer to that question might take us on a journey across the Atlantic, into the heart of Africa, through the annals of history, and into a deeper understanding of ourselves and our world. This is the power of They Came Before Columbus, a book that invites us to question, explore, and rethink our understanding of history. Our journey into the past continues, as we now delve into the fascinating world of ancient African navigation skills. It's not enough to simply say that Africans might have been the first to discover the Americas. We must also understand how they achieved such a monumental feat. The Africans were not just explorers, they were skilled navigators. They had a deep understanding of the stars, the currents, and the wind patterns. They knew how to read the skies and the seas, how to chart their course, and how to navigate the vast and treacherous expanse of the Atlantic. Let's take a closer look at the intricate maps and navigational tools they used. These were not rudimentary or primitive instruments. These were sophisticated tools and maps that showcased a deep understanding of the world and its geography. They were as intricate and detailed as any European map of the time, perhaps even more so. These maps and tools were not just for show, they played a crucial role in the African journeys across the Atlantic. They guided these explorers, these pioneers, across the vast and treacherous expanse of the ocean. They were the compasses that guided these explorers to the shores of the Americas. These skills, this knowledge, was not just for exploration, it was a testament to their advanced understanding of the world, an understanding that was far ahead of its time. They knew the world not as a flat plane, but as a sphere. They knew the stars not as random points of light, but as guides. They knew the seas not as barriers, but as pathways. As we delve deeper into the annals of history, we uncover a narrative that challenges our preconceived notions, a narrative that invites us to rethink our understanding of history. This is the narrative of the African explorers, the pioneers of the New World. This is the narrative of "they came before Columbus." As we continue our journey, let's shift our focus to the vessels that carried these skilled African navigators across the Atlantic. The ships they sailed were not ordinary, they were marvels of engineering. Crafted with precision, these vessels were built to withstand the harshest conditions of the open seas. The ancient Africans, with their advanced shipbuilding techniques, created vessels that were both sturdy and capable of long ocean voyages. Using materials like wood, papyrus, and animal skins, they created ships that were both lightweight and durable. The designs were innovative, with a keen eye for detail and an understanding of hydrodynamics that allowed these ships to cut through the waves with ease. The construction of these vessels was no small feat. It required a deep understanding of materials, design, and the harsh conditions of the Atlantic Ocean. The hulls were meticulously sealed to prevent water ingress, while the sails were designed to catch the wind efficiently, propelling the ships across the vast ocean. These were not just boats, they were advanced maritime creations, a testament to the ingenuity and technological prowess of the African explorers. The advanced shipbuilding techniques of the Africans played a crucial role in their journeys across the Atlantic. These ships were not just modes of transportation, they were lifelines, they were homes, they were survival tools. Without these advanced ships, the long and perilous journey across the Atlantic would have been impossible. These ships were a testament to their advanced engineering and craftsmanship. They showcased the extraordinary maritime capabilities of the Africans, further challenging the conventional narrative of the discovery of the Americas. It's time we give credit where it's due and acknowledge the remarkable achievements of the African explorers. Their story is a testament to human ingenuity and courage, a story that deserves to be told and remembered. Voiceover: the story doesn't end with the African navigators reaching the shores of the Americas. Rather, it marks the beginning of a rich and complex interaction between the Africans and the Native Americans. The cultural exchange that ensued was profound and impactful, with both cultures influencing and enriching each other in numerous ways. The Africans brought with them a wealth of knowledge and traditions, from their advanced shipbuilding techniques to their agricultural practices. They shared their skills in metalworking, pottery, and weaving, profoundly influencing the native cultures. They introduced new crops to the Americas, including rice and yams, significantly impacting the local agriculture. The Native Americans, on the other hand, shared their own wealth of knowledge, including their advanced understanding of the local geography and ecosystems, their agricultural techniques, and their unique art forms. They introduced the Africans to crops like corn, beans, and squash, revolutionizing their diet and agricultural practices. This exchange was not a one-way street but a mutual sharing of knowledge and traditions. The impact of these interactions can still be seen today, in the shared traditions and practices evident in the African diaspora in the Americas. You can see it in the music, the food, the language, and the art. But these interactions were not just exchanges, they were a fusion of cultures. The Africans and the Native Americans didn't just share their knowledge and traditions, they adapted and incorporated aspects of each other's cultures into their own. They learned from each other, grew with each other, and in the process, created something new and unique. This fusion of cultures is a testament to the resilience and adaptability of both the African and Native American people. It's a story of cultural exchange and mutual growth, a story that challenges the conventional narrative and adds another layer to our understanding of the discovery of the Americas. As we continue to delve into this rich history, let us remember the profound impact of these interactions and the enduring legacy they have left behind.